Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're looking at something just completely refreshing in the wellness and personal growth space. You know how digital wellness can sometimes feel like someone is literally screaming at you to take a 5 a.m. cold plunge or aggressively optimize every single second of your morning routine? Well, April Albright has built an entire strategy around the exact opposite: quiet, gentle presence. Her brand is appropriately called The Sanctuary. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down the exact framework she uses to create a truly safe harbor for her audience, turning a soft place to land into a deeply impactful, structured offering. Let's get into it.
Let's start with a collective deep exhale here. April says it best herself. I created The Sanctuary because I know what it feels like to need a soft place to breathe. And honestly, that is just profound in its simplicity, right? This isn't just some catchy tagline. It's the entire origin story of her work. She built this pressure-free space because she recognizes universal exhaustion we're all feeling. People don't just need more information or another 10-step how-to list. We are so overloaded. We just need a place where hope is actually allowed and where the pressure to constantly perform or fix ourselves is totally removed.
Part 1. The Sanctuary Philosophy. So, with that foundation in mind, what makes April's brand so incredibly magnetic is how she defines it by what it is not. Not coaching, not therapy, not advice. Have you ever felt that intense pressure to just do the work and fix your life in 5 easy steps? Well, this is the exact antidote to that. By stripping away all those traditional high-pressure expectations, she just completely removes the anxiety of having to constantly optimize yourself. Instead, she replaces it with 3 simple pillars: presence, grounding, and sanctuary. It's a radical shift, honestly. She's literally just offering to be there with you.
So how exactly do you market against urgency? You use what her content strategy calls the 30-day strategy vibe. It's built entirely on being soft, human, grounded, and magnetic. Every single TikTok or Facebook post acts as a micro moment of this exact vibe. Her strategy specifically dictates that calls to action, like asking someone to book a session or send a direct message, must be gentle and absolutely never pushy. It's all about building deep trust through consistency. Instead of shouting, "Book now" before spots fill up, she essentially whispers, "If your heart is asking for support, I'm here."
Part 2. Mapping your emotional needs.
Now, while the marketing is super soft, the underlying architecture of her business is actually incredibly focused. Think about it. When you're overwhelmed, the literal last thing you want is a complicated menu of services, right? To fix this, April uses this brilliant categorical approach to map it out intuitively. Basically, how you feel directly dictates the session you take and the result you get. It's like a perfectly organized menu for emotional relief. If you're feeling confused and stuck, you go to the clarity session for direction. If your mind is loud and anxious, you choose peace and presence for a soft reset. Or if you're holding on to something that feels hurt or emotionally tangled, you opt for the deep repair session. The guesswork is just entirely gone.
Part 3. The Entry Point: Hope and Presence.
Let's zoom in on our 2 foundational, lighter entry points. These are designed for someone who might be a little hesitant to dive into the deep work right away. First, we have hope circles. These are community-driven, acting like a warm exhale. They're a space to remind you that you are not alone in whatever you're facing. On the flip side, a moment of presence is much more introspective. It's described as a doorway to your inner sanctuary, a one-on-one space where April simply listens to you, fully and quietly, without any urge to fix or change you. So it's really the difference between finding light in a shared space versus finding peace in a quiet, guided reflection.
And here is an absolute cornerstone of April's business model, which really speaks to her personal generosity. She believes that hope should never be behind a paywall. Because of this core belief, her Hope Circles are offered as a completely free gift to her community. It is just a stunning way to build trust and genuinely prove her brand's values. She invites people in, asks them to come exactly as they are, and promises they'll leave feeling a little lighter, all without exchanging a single dollar.
Part 4. Navigating the deep work.
But sometimes a moment of light isn't quite enough, and clients need to step into the heavier lifting. Think of a clarity session as standing at a major life crossroads where confusion has just totally taken over. This session is high-focus, heart-centered work aimed at helping you see exactly what's true, what's possible, and what your next step actually is. Conversely, the deep repair session isn't really about finding a path forward. It's about unloading the baggage that's stopping you from walking in the first place. It's profound healing meant to release those deep emotional blockages and transform your internal harmony.
Notice the beautiful language she uses here. This is the space for what feels heavy, tangled, or tender. So often, society just tells us to toughen up, right? Or to hide our tangled emotions. But April explicitly names them and invites them right in. The deep repair session provides the solution, so you simply don't have to carry these heavy things entirely alone.
Nestled right between that mind-focused clarity work and the heart-focused repair work is grounding therapy. Now, this is explicitly designed for those days when you feel entirely disconnected from yourself. It serves to deeply soothe your nervous system. When the outside world gets way too fast, too loud, and just too demanding, grounding therapy serves as a vital tool to force you to slow down. It's really just a beautiful invitation to come back home to your own body.
Part 5. The Client Journey.
So what actually happens when someone finally takes the leap? Well, the post-booking journey flawlessly mirrors the marketing. It's broken down into 3 super gentle steps. You're welcomed gently, you're guided slowly, and you are never judged. This transparency is absolutely key. For someone with a dysregulated nervous system, the unknown of what happens after you pay for a session can cause intense anxiety. By laying out these 3 incredibly safe, gentle steps, April solidifies the client's magnetic trust in her brand before the session even begins.
Ultimately, the whole shebang, the entire client experience, is tied together by this core philosophy. In this space, nothing is rushed, nothing is forced, everything is allowed to soften. In a world completely optimized for speed and productivity, offering a completely pressure-free environment is honestly almost an act of rebellion. It is a powerful reminder that true emotional and mental well-being often requires us to just stop forcing outcomes and allow ourselves to simply be.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer today. I want to leave you with the exact same quiet moment of self-reflection that April uses with her own community. Ask yourself, what did your heart need this week? Did it need clarity, a warm exhale, or maybe just a soft place to land? Take a breath. Think on that for a bit, and thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the sanctuary.